So I'm up. Okay. What's going on, y'all? Uh, hold on. I'm going to assume this is working. Um, doing a little testing. Going a little early today. If this is indeed working, I am on Streamlabs today, and I was trying to get this to see if I could work on. See, my lights ain't right, so I'm experimenting today. This is my first time streaming using Streamlabs, so it's a different setup. Hopefully, it looks the same to you, but there's some things that I got to learn because obviously, if it's it ain't as easy as they make it out to be. So I was trying to go to YouTube and TikTok at the same time. Obviously, that ain't that's not working. So, oh, this is frustrating because they make it seem like it's just so easy, but it is what it is. Hold on for a second so I can get some lights on. I was trying to watch the Pittsburgh Texans game. There we go. We got some more lights, and then, of course, I'm all red. Brighten it up a little bit. That's better. So, yeah, man, what's going on? Happy Monday. Daniel Barry, Chris Bruce, Linda, Darth Panda, Carlos, Quentin, everybody, man. Yeah, I wanted to talk about AJ for a minute, man. Want to talk about AJ. That will be a massive cap hit. However, if there's anybody that can figure that out, it's Howie Roseman. If anybody can figure that out, it's Howie Roseman. Also, as usual, if for some reason my audio cuts out, please let me know because my interface is different and I don't have that immediate feedback if I go mute. Not like I do in StreamYard. StreamYard is definitely easier, but this is supposed to be better. I'm supposed to get alerts that pop up and all of that type of stuff. So I paid for a month. I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit, see if I like it. If I don't, I just won't re-up. So um so yeah, let me see how I look on the other channel. Yes, the tight ends needs to be addressed. That needs to be addressed. Um let me see. Why is this? Oh, okay. Well, let's try this. All right, yeah, this is okay. That's better. And the other thing is that I can't do here is put the chats up. If I want to do it, all messages you send will appear publicly. If I want to put a chat on screen, I don't know how to do that. Edit your stream title and no. View live stream in the web. Okay, got that. Go live dashboard. I don't know. There we go. Okay, I see it on YouTube. So we working that way.
Football.
So we working that way. But I do not know how to put your comments on screen. I don't know how to do that in StreamYard yet. So in any case, what are the handles with the blue wrenches? Usually if you have a wrench, that means you have been rocking with me for a while, and I will give you a wrench as a moderator. Because if you have been on my squad for a minute, and sometimes we get some people in here that want to be toxic, and I try to keep toxic on the bench. So if you are one of the moderators, if you are subscribed, or if you are a member, you are automatically a moderator, and you have the power to kick people out if they talk greasy and toxic and stuff like that. Usually, I don't even think there's maybe been one or two occasions where I had to boot somebody, um, as opposed to like when I get the spam chats and stuff like that. But for the most part, everybody's cool. Um, haven't really had a problem with people coming in being toxic, being disrespectful, being a little bit extra with the language and stuff like that. For the most part, people are good. even if you not for the Eagles or if you for, if you opposition or something like that, I will let you talk your talk. If you a 49ers fan, y'all know how I do it. I keep it 100. I will let you talk your talk. Just don't be toxic with it. Just don't be disrespectful and toxic, and we can all have a good time. So, but to answer your question, Gouda, that's what the wrenches are for. Wrenches, if you got a wrench, that means they've been rocking with me for a while. That's what that means. So, um, so yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So what's going on, Tiff? Hope you done got your woosai in and had a little herbal tea and calmed down a little bit. So I got something I want to play for you guys though. I gotta find it now. Because I was gonna do a video and release it tomorrow, but I figured, you know what? Maybe I'll just do it on this page. What was I watching? That was I was watching Undisputed this morning. Unsportsmanlike. With Chris Candy and Michelle Smallman. Like I like that group. Um and I got Michelle Smallman. Let me see if I can do this. Let me I'm trying to switch some stuff. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Browser source. Okay. So we got that. We got that. Y'all like I didn't even get a chance to show some of my artwork I did. I did this the other day at AI. Was messing around with prompts and stuff like that. And I got the I did the Hulk. I did the Hulk right there. I thought that was pretty dope. Put a jersey on him. All right, let me see if I can find this. Hold on for a second. Because this, I really want to talk about this. Really want to talk about this. Hold on. It would be screen capture. Oh crap! Where's my second screen? Window 2. So that's not what I thought it was. We'll figure it out. Hold on for a second. Animated background. Dang it. Window capture 2. Let me see that train.
So we're talking about the Eagles moving on from A.J. Brown, and obviously, yes.
All right, hold on. I found it. Now let me see if I can get it on this other page. So we got it right there. Firefox. Google Chrome. Was this it? Oh God, no. Is this it? Streamlabs settings. Nope. Nope. I can't get it. Daggone it. Used to be was all so simple, right? No, I gotta find my. No, I gotta find that. We'll leave it at that. At this point, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. Tell you what.
Yesterday was not.
Do me a favor. Let me know, because you don't necessarily have to see it. You just need to hear it. So do me a favor in the chat. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear this. This is on the Unsportsmanlike show this morning, and this is Michelle Smallman. So I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Let me know if you can hear this. Let me know what we did hear it from where you. Okay, cool. So you don't necessarily need to see the video. I just want you to hear it. So listen to this. Listen to this.
Yesterday was not his best day, but isn't he a little bit vindicated in what he was saying all season long? He kept telling you something is not right here. He was sounding the alarm early and often, and it never materialized. So he's a very talented player, And do you guys think in any way we're looking at what he had been saying, whether or not you liked the delivery or the timing of it, and saying maybe we should have listened to him? He was right.
The iron.
That's what that. Did you guys hear that? Put a thumbs up if you heard that. Y'all want me to play that again? Let me know if you heard that. If you could hear that, okay. Because that's the crux of the argument. Y'all heard that, okay? Good. Let me know. Let me know what you think about that. Because I thought the same thing. Me and Michelle Smallman are same like minded on that one. And what have I been saying? Regardless of if you like the tweets and all of that kind of stuff, and people getting bent out of shape out of that, which is a whole nother conversation. But one thing that I've always said, AJ Brown was right. AJ Brown was not wrong in his analysis of the passing game. If you want to go all the way back to last year, I believe that game, it was the Carolina game. Ever since the Carolina game, and he said the passing game needs work. We had like 103 yards. We won the game, but we had like 103 yards passing, and AJ Brown just said, we got to work on our passing. And everybody lost their shit. But he was right. From right then, he was right. He ain't never said anything wrong. Everybody didn't like the tweets and the cryptic messages and reading the books and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, he was correct. And nobody wanted to give him credit for it. Even when his teammates co-signed. They still didn't want to give him credit for what he said. He wasn't malicious with it. He wasn't pointing anybody out. He wasn't pointing any fingers. He simply said the passing game needs to be better. That's it. And everybody just took it and ran with it. He being a malcontent. It's a schism in the locker room. He's a cancer in there. And you heard all of this kind of stuff that people just wanted to run with. And it's like, hold on now. Hold on. What you say and what you do is two different things. He got the C on his chest. So his voice is respected in that locker room, regardless of what the people at WIP think. He's got respect in that locker room. He ain't a cancer in that locker room. And if, in my opinion, the whole dust up on the sideline, if Nick Sirianni gets that bent out of shape because he's not hustling off the field or he wanted him to get off the field, that's what got you that bent out of shape? Were you going to jump down somebody's throat in a high-stakes situation like that? That's what got you pissed off? Come on, son. And he already frustrated because he done dropped balls and ain't having the best game, and everything rolls into one. And one of the jobs being a head coach is you got to be able to read the room. And I see a lot of people jumping down AJ's throat on how he reacted and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, in the heat of the moment in a situation like that, that ain't what you want to hear. And it's been many other situations like that. Many situations. I was trying to find a video clip. I found it, but remember that video clip? I think it was week 4. The Packers. The dude from the Packers thought it was a field goal. So he ran on the field, and I believe they got a penalty because he thought it was the field goal team, and he's on the field goal team. Something happened. It was a weird situation, and it was one of them situations like I understand why he did it. He wasn't just being an asshole. He ran out there and, oh, shoot. The little automatic super chat popped up. Okay. All right, I like that. But in that particular situation, LaFleur was cussing him out on the sideline. Like this went on for like 30 seconds. And then LaFleur walked away and then came back and had something else to say. Clearly the dude made a mistake. It was an honest mistake. And I'd have to go find it again. But I remember the way the situation presented itself. I understand why he thought it was a field goal team. Like it was Yeah, you got to pay attention, but I get it. And he just kept going back and going back. And it was like, also, remember that game with the Saints last year when Jalen Carter did something stupid and got a penalty, and big Coach Clint Hurt was back there dealing with him, and then Sirianni came by and had to put his 2 cents in. And what did Clint Hurt do? I got it, Coach. I got it. I got this. I got this. This is my guy. I got this. Go head on. I'll handle it. Because he wasn't going to do anything but make the situation worse. But I also understand Sirianni. He the head coach. You got to let him know that you upset in the situation. I get that. But what happened yesterday at that game, that was unnecessary, in my opinion. Schoolboy, what did you have? Sad end to the Eagles season. On a high note, how about them Sixers? I'm actually out here looking like an NBA guard. Love to see it. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'll jump back in on the Sixers pretty soon because obviously my WNBA don't look like they're going to be playing. I'm not happy about that at all. Shit, that scared you? That's the only other thing I got to figure out how to do. I want to make sure I can put the chats on the board. I don't know how to do that. I got to look that up. So, but I'm happy it worked. I paid the money for it, but still a little confused. But we'll get there. So, but glad you like it. What's up? What's up, KSAP? What's up, KSAP? Yeah, I'm getting together, KSAP. You know me. Trying to do it right. I even had to for all y'all Eagles fans, this was my last one since we lost. This is my last one since we lost. And you already know where I'm going with this. Let me see. Hold on. Nope. Did I get it? Animated background studio. Where my I don't even I got so much stuff going on right now. Hold on. There we go. No, that didn't do it. Animated background. Okay, there we go. Whew, Lord have mercy. This is I got to get used to this interface, man. But since we lost yesterday, um, my last flap in the wings because the season's over. Fly Eagles fly. Except now we just flying to Cancun. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. So yeah, that's my last one for the season. Until next time. So yeah, man, it was that was hard to watch. Appreciate that, case out. We got to connect too, man. We got to connect too. We need to get there and talk about what they're gonna do in Cleveland, bro. So, um, it's we all know Kevin Patullo gonna get fired, and if he doesn't, they're gonna turn Philly upside down. So, but y'all know how I feel about Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman is the best in the business. Um, I have supreme trust that Howie Roseman is going to do the right thing. So I'm not even worried about that. They're going to make the change. They're going to make the decision when they make the decision. So the next question becomes, who replaces him? Who's next? I've heard a couple names. I've heard everything from Brian Daboll. I've heard the dude that just got fired from Miami, Lincoln Riley. Because I think Dayball and Lincoln Riley both coached Jalen Hurts when he was in college. Um, so, but whatever the names are out there, they just names at this point. I'm watching the news and I'm watching the feeds and the Twitter feeds and all that kind of stuff, just like everybody else. So when I get the news, you'll get the news, but I ain't gonna hold my breath. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. My preference would be, is it possible to get somebody in here that doesn't have head coach aspirations? That's the difficult thing. Can we get somebody in here that's going to be here for at least 3 years? Can we get 3 years out of somebody? And I think people are not giving Jalen Hurts the credit he deserves, because nobody is talking about how difficult it is going to the Super Bowl, getting a new offensive coordinator year after year after year after year since he was a freshman in college. He's only had a coordinator 2 years max, but most of the time it's one and done, and he still keep winning. And I don't think people talk about it, but I really don't think people give Jalen Hurts the credit, because I use this example when I was talking to my wife about this. And what I said was, just think of your situation, your 9-to-5 job, right? And you get a new supervisor on your 9-to-5 job. Now, that supervisor, it's a lot of things can happen with that. Maybe they want you to do things a different way. Maybe they want you to do different ways that make the company look good, but it's not the most efficient way to get your work done. So now it's putting more work in your pocket, or on your desk. Or maybe the way they do it, it makes you look bad. Maybe the new team that you own, you don't get along with everybody. Or maybe you do get along with everybody, but you realize you ain't getting enough work done. So there's a bunch of million different scenarios that can happen when you get a new supervisor. And it's not always to your benefit. It's not always to your benefit. I would love to see Eric Bieniemy. But my point is, just imagine getting a new supervisor year after year. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. If it's good and you give the best performance of the year, you get the raise and everything, and then all of a sudden change again. And you go up and down and up and down. And I don't think people give Jalen Hurts enough credit for dealing with that year after year after year. It's something to be said when you got to get used to a new voice in your ear every year at the NFL level. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. So maybe they'll get Frank Reich back. I don't know. Eagle Drew. Maybe they will get Frank Reich back. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on Frank Reich. I know he could do it, but I want somebody that don't know Nick Sirianni. I got to think about that. I want somebody that doesn't know Nick Sirianni, because if we bring in Frank Reich, well, why the hell we don't just make Frank Reich the coach? So I don't know how that's going to work. Filling out those TPS reports is a drag. Yeah, Green Wingman, he's going to have to do it again. He's going to have to do it again. So, but he's up to the challenge, man. We just got to get somebody that has some type of creativity, man. Some type of creativity. And I kept using this example. Me and Tone was talking about this yesterday. All right. And like, put a thumbs up in the chat. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you know how to play chess. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you know how to play chess. Now, the thing with chess, I remember my uncle. My uncle was a brainiac. He was one of them people, smart at everything. And he was trying to teach me how to play chess as a child. And I didn't get it. Now, eventually, as an adult, I learned how to play chess. Funny story. I think I've told this before once. When I was in Scotland in the World League, the hotel we were staying at, they had a elementary school chess tournament in our hotel. And of course, we the big football players. It ain't too many. It ain't a lot of black folks in Scotland, so we kind of stand out like sore thumbs. So I'm walking through the hotel and I hear the commotion, and I walk by the room and I see all these kids in there with their little chessboards on the desks. And of course, when I walk by the room, everybody sees me, and then the place goes nuts. So I kind of peek in there and I wave, and then one of the adults came on, explained what was happening. So I just sat there and watched them. And then one of the kids pulled me down, was like, "You know how to play?" I was like, "I get it, I know, but I don't know." Um, uh, yes, there are some black folks in Scotland, but they're mostly Nigerians, Africans and Nigerians, because they come up from London. So you get a lot of like Nigerians that come up from London. So there are some black folks in Scotland. Don't get it twisted. It just we ain't too many periods on the page. But back to my story. So I walk in there, kids going nuts. I'll sit down, I'll watch a couple games. One kid gets the guts to ask me to play. And I'm like, I ain't really that good. I don't really know how to play. I know how to play, but I don't know how to play. So I sit down, the kid, next thing I know, everybody in the room is surrounding our desk watching us. I don't even know if anybody else is still playing. And the kid, I'm playing, I know the moves and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not thinking 6 and 7 moves ahead and all that kind of stuff. I'm just moving pieces. You know, I know, I know what the knight can do. I know what the rooks can do. I know how to move the pieces. So one of the kids is like, no, don't do that. Move here, move there. So I stayed there for about 20 minutes, played with the kid. Kid ended up beating me, but it was fun. It was fun. And I tell that story for this. It was a long way around, but my point is this. When I learned how to play chess, I got to the point where I was decent at chess. I bought me a little Kasparov electronic. I would play the computer all the time. Um, but if I was to sit down and play chess with somebody that had been playing for a couple of years, they would have wiped the floor with me. I know how to play. I was a little bit better. Now I can think 4 or 5 moves ahead, but somebody that had been playing 5 years would have wiped the floor with me. And I say that simply to say this. Just because Kevin Patullo had been in the quarterback room and knew the playbook doesn't mean he was proficient at it. Doesn't mean that. Just because you can sit down and play chess don't mean you can go through the park in New York and get down with some of them dudes. Just because I know how to drive don't mean I can hop in a NASCAR. Hell, these days, just because you can you drive a stick? Can you drive a manual transmission? Probably not. So just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you can do a thing well. That was a long way to say that. But you understand my point. So that's, in my opinion, that's what we had with Kevin Patullo. Now, if we end up with another Doug Peterson situation, that will only come down the pipe if for whatever reason, and I don't think it's going to happen, but if for whatever reason, Nick Sirianni doesn't want to let Patullo go. But I don't think that's going to happen because that is not in his hands. That is a Howie Roseman decision, period. That's why Peterson got fired. Peterson wanted some moves and some hires from within, and Sirianni didn't want to do that. Uh-oh. What we got? Do you see a scenario where KP does return? I do not. I do not. Because for that to happen would mean that we don't want to do what it takes to win. Basically, what we did with Kevin Patullo is he got out of his driving school, got his license, and you bought him a damn Hellcat. He couldn't handle it. We had the most expensive offensive roster in the league. And we got solid veterans. We ain't overpay for nobody. We got solid veterans. You got a 2,000-yard rusher. You got a Super Bowl MVP. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith, and you got Dallas Goedert. What's the problem? And one of the best offensive linemen, uh, one of the best offensive lines and offensive line coaches in the business. Now, it didn't turn out like that with the whole offensive line thing. It'll go down in history that Cam Jurgens was a Pro Bowler, but we all know better. That was some bullshit. Cam Jurgens was not a Pro Bowler. He was horrible this year. Landon Dickerson even admitted like he was hurt. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. And it bit us in the ass. We got no run game all year. None. Ain't nothing. And y'all know I've been saying this all year. What nothing wrong with Saquon? What nothing wrong with Saquon? Problem with Saquon was he was trying to make people miss behind the line of scrimmage, and that ain't good. That is not good. Texans got 2 turnovers now. Well, the defense getting it up, getting it up. So, yeah, it was Carlos, man. I don't. I'm with you, bro. We were bipolar. Our offense was bipolar. So I don't know where that came from. I don't know why we were dealing with that, but we were dealing with it. And it was one of them situations, man. We just just couldn't get it together. Hold on, let me see if I can look this up real quick. Let me see. Playing let me see. Showing chat. I don't even know how to say that. Showing chat messages on screen in Streamlabs. Learning as we go, bro. Learning as we go. Show chat box on. So we got this chat box, but how do I highlight it? Highlight one. That's what I want to know. How to add chat box? No. How to see? No, that's Twitch chat. How to see chat? How to put chat overlay? Chat overlay. How do I highlight a chat? I don't know. I'm about to look this up. All right. Thought it would be a quick fix, but not. Yeah. What we got? Green Wing, what up? Would you prioritize in keeping this off-season player wise? Who would I prioritize? It's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me see. Eagle free agents. I saw a list. Eagle free agents in 2026. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Who would I prioritize? We got Dallas Goedert, Jalen Phillips, N'Kobe Dean, Reed Blankenship, Aziz Ojulari, Josh Uche, Brandon Mann, AJ Dillon, Jahan Dotson, Grant Calcaterra, Brandon Graham, Kyle Granson, Sam Howell, Matt Pryor, Fred Johnson, Ogbonia, Okunrokwo, Brett Toth, and Ben Van Sumer. That's a good woof. I would say Jalen Phillips. Find a way to keep him. N'Kobe Dean, man. I know we got Jahad Campbell, but damn, N'Kobe Dean balled out, man. Y'all know I got bias for N'Kobe too, but damn, he came off an injury and just wrecked shop. I ain't gonna lie, I would try to keep N'Kobe. If we got to keep 2 linebackers, first round class linebackers, so be it. Because N'Kobe Dean, what he did coming back from that injury was phenomenal. Nothing short of phenomenal. Um, Other than that, I would say Matt Pryor and Fred Johnson. Although Fred Johnson gonna always be challenged because we gonna get some people in the draft. If I'm looking at the draft, I'm looking at tight ends and offensive linemen because this is gonna be a lot of trading that Howie's gonna do because Howie likes to get good offensive linemen later, and we still got some big rookies that we got to see what we got. So just on this list of people, Jalen Phillips, N'Kobe Dean. I don't think Reed Blankenship is going to stay unless he takes a hometown discount. And plus, we got to see what Drew Makuba can do, even though he's coming off an injury. The reason I would say yes to Pryor is because I don't think he would cost a lot of money. And we need help on the offensive line. We need somebody that's been in the system. Because don't forget, we gotta develop these guys. And there's no guarantee that we just gonna get somebody off the street and come back. Shit, if you want to if you want to go get somebody, go get Mekhi Becton back. That's what you need to bring back. Shoot. We gotta get depth. We gotta get depth. And we gotta get good depth. Fred Johnson was salvageable. Tyler Steen, not so much. So Brett Toth, when he was healthy and played center, he played well at center. But at guard, Brett Toth was not good. So I don't know. That's a big list. All the tight ends are gone. Grant Calcaterra cannot block. I would like to see them. I don't know if I don't think he's on the block because I don't see his name on the list. But there's a lot to teach that boy how to catch. That's what we need to do with him. So, and also they got to get. Are you comfortable with Fred Johnson taking over for Lane Johnson? Because I don't think Lane coming back. I don't know. So, yeah. Becton didn't like his situation, and they in Cancun. We all in Cancun. The Texans might end up in Cancun before it's all said and done. But Aaron Rodgers ain't looking great either. So ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. Yo, Mike Gesicki, I would love to have Mike Gesicki here. You know I'm partial to my Bengals. Absolutely. Bring that dude here. We need somebody that can block. Because every time I see Dallas Goedert getting that frog stance on the line of scrimmage, I'm like, boy, he about to get his ass handed to him. You can't block nobody in that stance like that. Not even close. So, hey, that just goes to show he got his bag. He got his bag twice because don't forget Becton was a first round draft pick. So people thought he was a bust up in New York, and then he gets down here and moves position, goes from tackle to guard. First time I ever remember seeing a 6'7" guard. Usually the guards are the ones a little bit smaller, 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", but they got quick feet. And they moved big ass Becton there, and he handled business. So that was surprising for me. But Jeff Stoutland is he a gold standard in offensive line coaches. So Carlos, unfortunately, I cannot drop the link tonight because I don't know how to do that in Streamlabs. So I'm still trying to figure this out, man. I would like to drop the link. I just don't know how to do it. Thank you for the super chat, Green Wing Man. Do you feel the Eagles will take steps back due to offseason moves? It depends on who they get. We still got a bomb ass defense. We still gonna have a bomb ass defense. So as long as they can bring back Jalen Phillips, and we still got Jalix Hunt, and we still got Ojulari, and we still got Ojomo, and we still got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. We good. The defensive line is still solid. We just got to get the offense to catch up with the defense, and we still got to figure out. We still got to get another cornerback. We got to get another cornerback. So what you call is probably going to get cut. Keely Ringo will probably get cut. Um, Bennett will probably get cut. Maybe they'll keep Adoree Jackson. I don't know. Um, they got to make some decisions when it comes to that. But in my opinion, I don't think these are hard decisions. The only difficult decision you're gonna have is what you're gonna do with Nakobe Dean. To me, that's a difficult decision because you want to keep him. So we'll see what they do. Because listen, this whole sentiment is gonna change the closer you get to the draft. Who's available? Who's not available? Who's coming out? Who's going in for their 6th, 7th, or 8th senior year, and all of that kind of stuff. That's going to change everything. It's going to change the outlook. It's going to change the game plan on what we do going into the draft. So now to the end, the only thing that in my opinion that should be a lock is that they're going to get rid of Kevin Patullo. And I ain't gonna lie, the way we ended up, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they get rid of Nick Sirianni. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's possible. And it's more of a possibility than not. So we'll see. Yeah, Jalen Phillips needs to be back here. I like Jalen Phillips and Vic Fangio. Keep that duo together. Absolutely. Campbell does cover better than Dean, but Dean is a better run stopper than Campbell. And don't get it twisted. I watched Nakobe Dean run with Jahmyr Gibbs, so Nakobe Dean can run. Don't get it twisted. He's not as fast as Hod, but Nakobe Dean can run when he needs to. Brian, this is what people got to realize, man. Don't buy into all of the nonsense about what you think is going on with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Don't buy into that nonsense because people on the outside don't know what they're talking about. Like most people, 95% of the people don't understand the dynamics in the locker room. And even some of them reporters that are in the locker room every day, they not in every day. It's people on your job that see you every day, but they don't know how you are at home. They don't know how you are with your wife, with your kids, and all that kind of stuff. You know somebody, but you don't know them. And that's what these reporters are. They get a 15, 20-minute glimpse of what goes on in that locker room, and they think they got a good beat on things. It's like, no, there's still so much shit that you don't see. So it ain't like, and then again, you got the dynamic of the locker room dynamic is familial. That is a family. Everybody in here got somebody in their family that they love, but they get on their nerves. That's what families do. They fight. That don't mean you don't love each other. You don't think Jalen Hurts didn't want to get AJ Brown the ball? Because this is the thing that people forget. There's a reason why AJ Brown has the NFL record for the most 100 consecutive 125 plus receiving yard games in NFL history. There's a reason why AJ Brown holds that record because somebody named Jalen Hurts had to throw him the ball. So there was a time when you was feeding AJ, it was working. There was a time where if AJ Brown ran a quick slant, he was bound to break at least one tackle, and all of a sudden we stopped doing it. Why we stopped doing it? Because guess what? If you running quick slants, usually a quick slant means he's going across the middle. We didn't go across the middle for nothing this year. It was horrible. It was horrible. We left the middle wide open. San Francisco had linebackers off the street, and we still couldn't get the middle of the field. That's game planning. Now I'll be one to tell you all day, execution can be bad game plan. However, when your opponent knows what's coming, Makes it awfully hard to beat. Makes it awfully hard to beat. So, Tiff, exactly. They act like you can just replace AJ Brown. AJ Browns don't grow on trees. You ain't gonna just find another AJ Brown. It don't. Because if people like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and DK Metcalf and CD Lamb and whoever you want to put at Devontae Adams, think of all the best receivers in the league right now. Jamar Chase, Pickens, all of the great receivers in the league right now. You think you can just find another one? You think they grow on trees? Because if that would be the case, everybody would have one. It don't work that way. You see what happened with Buffalo, and the boy couldn't stay out of trouble because he's acting like an idiot. What's the dude? Keon Coleman, first round pick, suspended for a couple games because he ain't want to get to the meetings on time. He's one of them dudes, and it's like everybody ain't built the same. So when you get somebody like an AJ Brown on your squad that is producing, you might want to keep him around. I don't give a damn if you like his tweets or not. So I don't know. AJ or Dean, who are you keeping? Um, oof, that's a tough one, man. I would go Dean because defense wins championships. What Dean did? Put it this way: Dean was more of an impact player than AJ was, and that's just not saying that AJ is still not an elite receiver. It's because this was a down year for him. And also back on AJ. Think about this. This was a down year for AJ, and he still got 1,000 yards receiving in a down year. Think about that. AJ Brown had more drops this year than he's ever had in his life. The reason why you want to keep AJ Brown, I know I said N'Kobe Dean, but the reason why you want to keep AJ Brown is if this was a bad year for AJ, the pendulum got to swing the other way. It has to. AJ Brown is what, 28? AJ Brown is 28. He'll be 29 in June. So I'll take them last 2 years before he turned 30. And then once he turned 30, the price going to drop, whatever it is. So I take the gamble on them last 2 years. I would, especially if you get another OC in here that knows how to script up some plays. Shoot, you don't just replace them dudes, man. You don't just replace them. And like I told you, like Dean, the situation with N'Kobe is I'm biased for N'Kobe because I know him and I like the way he plays. And to say he played lights out is an understatement after a serious knee injury. And he don't get N'Kobe Dean don't get enough credit for how smart he is. So, you know what? I was looking for some information on Darius Cooper today because I like Darius Cooper. I like his size. I like his speed. I can see him stepping in and we giving him the ball, but you know, I don't know. Is he an elite talent? I don't think so. So was this year just a year in development? He's from a small school, but guess what? Every time you get him a chance to get the ball in his hands, he did something with it. So I say roll with it. Roll with it. Everybody, Brian, everybody got to learn how to be a pro. That's not mutually exclusive to certain people. Everybody got to go through that. That ain't that's not really saying anything. That's a journey that every rookie has to go through. Jahai was an edge sometimes down in Alabama. So the reason why they put him there is because he could play there. And he feel the need that They had to do what they had to do for a couple times. And Jihad is versatile like that. Because when you got speed like that, you know, but it's a little bit harder when you going up against 350-pound tackle. You just gonna lose the battle of physics. That's how Nolan Smith was last year. Nolan Smith is just coming into his own, but Nolan Smith, why you think Nolan Smith was always popping his shoulder out? Because that joker would come through like a missile and was delivering blows, but it took a toll on his body. You still giving up almost 100 pounds. If you 240 and you going up against somebody that's 330 or 340, you losing the battle of physics. I don't care how hard you hit him. Your body's going to break down, and that's why I think that, he always has shoulder issues and all of that type of stuff. So, but he would come through like a missile. Darth Panda, I know it wasn't a lot, but when he had to do it, he could do it. So I look at it as a situation where he can fill in. If you need somebody to fill in the pinch, do what you got to do. Trent, it was a lot of holding, man. The fact that they only got one penalty call was atrocious. Not yet. Not at edge, anyways. At linebacker, he's gonna get there, but not at edge. Jihad is a better outside linebacker because he's so fast. He still got to learn how to play. And when he running with them running backs and them tight ends, can he switch to being a DB? That's what he got to learn. You need to spend a couple days training with DB so he can rotate them hips, locate the ball. Because if he ever get his hands on the ball, I don't think people understand how fast and how athletic Jihad is. And he only gonna get better because he had a chance to watch, and he made some meaningful plays. He made some meaningful plays. Yeah, it was. They was fam. They was holding. I mean, that's every game, bro. At this point, you can't even really complain about it because it's that's the nature of the game right now. Well, they knocking Aaron Rodgers the hell around everywhere. Damn, knocking the stuffing out of him. But guess what? It's 10-6. It's 10-6. They got a field goal, and they kicking off right. Oh, they must just have got it. All right. Pittsburgh still got a chance to take this lead. The fourth quarter just started. I think Cooper can be a number two. Sure, sure. Put him out there to see what happens. Yeah, I want to see tackle for losses. I mean, everybody wants to see that, but as an outside linebacker, I just need him to be where he's supposed to be, cover them tight ends and them running backs, and make the tackle. That's all I need him to do. Yeah, all of the games in the playoffs so far, Brian, have been really good. All of them. This game is tough. Uh, Shout out to Kenny Gainwell, man. He put it down for Pittsburgh this year. Good for him. Still want to see Johnny Wilson in the run game. Yeah, we missed him. We really did. We missed a good pass blocking tight end, run blocking tight end. We oof. Yeah, we needed him in the worst. We needed that size in the worst way because Calcaterra, Granson, Goddard, their run blocking is god awful. And Rogers dropped back. He's looking, lets it go. Oh, did he catch it? They're gonna review that. They're gonna review that. He tipped it to himself. Did they call it incomplete? Yeah, you got to see that again. Good concentration by him. Stay with it. Stay with it. Oh, nah, he trapped it. He trapped it. Ugh. Yep, he trapped it big time. You think it's gonna be the Seahawks and the Bills? All right, Greenway man. You have a good night. How long we been rocking and rolling? See, I ain't even got my counter. 55 minutes. Third and 12. Good Lord. Tackle for a loss. Would I be cool with Howie using the first 4 picks on rebuilding the O line? Um, sure I would, but long as you get a tight end in there. Rams versus Bills. I don't want the Rams versus Bills because those are America's darlings, and no, because if the Rams or the Bills make it, it's just gonna be a slob fest for Josh Allen and for Matt Stafford. All they're gonna do is talk about how Matt Stafford is Hall of Fame bound, and then all they're gonna talk about is Josh Allen knew this was his year, everything lined up, and he was the guy to take advantage of it. Um, and they want to deem him the new best quarterback in the league. Now that you know Patrick Mahomes has had his issues, so it'll just be a slob fest, and it's just like ugh. Uh-oh. What just happened? What just happened? Aaron Rodgers about to get got. Oh, strip sack. Oh, he picked it up and he took it from him. Rumbling, bumbling, fumbling. They got him too. They got him good. And they didn't call like a penalty for touching his helmet. Good on them. So I'm looking over here on my other computer and I'm looking at an article talking about how difficult it's going to be to move AJ Brown with his contract. But Howie, if he want to be moved, he can move. Harbaugh might be too headstrong. Harbaugh ain't gonna come here. Harbaugh gonna get another head coaching job. Harbaugh and Stefanski are gonna get head coaching gigs. Nick Dayball or Brian Dayball is the one you want to go after. McDaniels, he's gonna look for another head coaching gig, although I don't think he should get one. Like he wasn't good enough for me. Yeah, plenty of OCs to be had. We'll see what they're gonna do. I look for him to make the move this week. I think they're gonna make the move this week. So can't wait that long, man. It's gotta go. Gotta do what they gotta do. So yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Dayball worked with Jalen Hurts in college. The names that were mentioned were Brian Dayball and Lincoln Riley. Yeah. Yep. Post June 1, but do you want to wait that long? Fire Sirianni, make Harbaugh the coach. Guess what? Sirianni done been to a Super Bowl twice. Harbaugh hasn't. Be careful what you wish for. He been to 2 Super Bowls and should have won both of them, but should have won the first one, and we should have blanked freaking Kansas City. So, uh, how does the offense get better without AJ Brown? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand why people, and I guess that's the thing with me, man. Everybody's so thin skinned because of what you didn't like. Now, drops withstanding. If you want to get mad because he had 2 drops in the game, so be it. But again, y'all know what I say, man. That happens to everybody. Everybody gets a turn when it comes to stuff like that. Everybody gets a turn to have a bad game. It does. Because normally when you have a bad game playing football, it's what you do after that. It's what you do. How do you come back? How do you battle back? And all of that type of stuff. Unfortunately, the season's over. Don't get it twisted. I think Nick's in the hot seat now. Don't get it twisted now. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts, man. My stream of consciousness. I'm about to get out of here and get something to drink. What time is it? This game's almost over. Looks like Texans are going to win this game. You got 10 minutes, 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter, 17-6. So it's going to be more news to come, especially when they make a decision. So ain't no sense of lollygagging around and waiting for something that's going to happen. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Feel me? I think the 2 years of epic collapse from Nick hiring first-year OCs counted to the 2 times finance spirit. I mean, there's some merit to that. There's some merit to that. But I think we got to get the right personality as a coach for Jalen. We have to. We have to do that. Tomlin about to be in Cancun. Oh, damn, Aaron, you just failed, dude. Are you tired, bro? Oh, my God. But all right, man, I'm about to get up out of here. I've been rocking for an hour. So I do like the Streamlabs. I got to get used to some of this stuff. I still don't know what I'm doing yet. So, and I still can't go do TikTok at the same time. That's the reason I got the stupid thing in the first place. So that pisses me off, but I'll work on it. So everybody leave a thumbs up in the chat because I got to say hi to my grandson, Roman. What's up, Ro? What's up? My grand boy. He saw me on television the other day. They had one of my podcasts on the TV, and he sit there and he recognized me. So got to send out a shout out to my little grand boy. So, but I'm about to get up out of here. See the end of this game. Boy, Aaron Rodgers can't do nothing right now. So, all right. See y'all in the next one. I'll be on with Tone tomorrow night. We gonna do one more recap, relapse, and kind of wrap up the whole season, and then we gonna figure out what we're gonna do from there. So we might just do like a Tuesday show and not do a pregame show, because me and Tone gonna stay connected. So that will be coming very soon. So let you guys know. I still got to debut my I got a new theme song for 2026. I ain't even had a chance to put it together yet. So I got the song. I just haven't. I got to put it on video, like as an intro. So working on that too. So a lot of good stuff. Costa, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I'm gonna mess around with this Streamlabs a little bit more. Still gotta figure out how to get y'all chats on the screen. I don't know how to do that, but we'll figure it out. But I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Good conversation today. Shoot, I can't even play like my outro music, or it doesn't have background music like StreamYard does. So I got to get used to this stuff. But I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good night. Finish watching the rest of the game. Be safe. Be good to yourselves. And I will see you next time in Cancun. Nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday. I'm out of here, y'all. Go Birds.